Okay, so we have also another survey last time. I would like also to mention this that okay, so this is actually a recorded virtual meet, and yung wala, they can review this one sa atong Google Classroom. Okay, and I also posted last time. No, we also gathered a second survey which talks about your internet capability with regards to your connection. I mean, to your connection, because it's really important to know so that we can also assess at the same time support no your need in this course. Okay, so far there are around for this actually combined sections. There are three sections in this CPE 105, and there was a question last time, uh, bakit isa room ako or I am mixed with another, nasa wrong section ba ako? Actually, combined to ha, because we have the same learning path, so we should have one classroom. So these are combined sections of B2, B3-3, and B5. For B2, CP 105 B2, there are around 21% who actually answer the survey. And for B3-3, around 25 or 26%. For B5, 24% yung nag-answer sa survey. So this is actually not 100% result. However, with regards to the internet capability, 37%, I mean, there are around 45% who mentioned that they have connection, Wi-Fi connection, but limited. So it's okay, no? At least na meron. Okay, so anyway, later on we're going to discuss our mode of delivery in this course. Then most of you are actually using your smartphone, and 26% lang, I mean 32% yung lang nagamit ng laptop or netbook, whereas 93% use smartphone. Okay, and I'm happy with the result because especially yung sa question, how many times did you participate in the synchronous sessions? Okay, so majority said 10. There are around 22%. The rest scattered into different numerical values. Okay, then with regards to your experiences, most of you mentioned yun talaga limited yung connection, saya maputol, lag. Okay, so these are common problems, no? And it's not only you who are actually experiencing this one, even teachers. No, even me, sometimes I experience this one, no? But anyway, let's support one another, right? Now, I also mentioned that you need to read about the course before you participate in our orientation. So I hope you have done that one already, so that tuloy tayo sa discussion. You can also ask your questions. Now, for the questions, you can type in the chat box, right? So welcome. We have around 29 who are actually viewing live streams ato ang first virtual or course orientation sa CPE 105. Okay. So our agenda this morning, we have around actually 4 plus the other matters. Okay. So first, we're gonna talk about the course orientation or course information. We have the course description and outcome, the modules and the lessons, and the grading system. And I believe these are all in the about the course no manual. Okay. So along the way, if you have questions, kindly write that one in the or type that one in the chat box. Okay. So daghan na nag-present. So welcome sa nag-present no. Too many to mention pero this is recorded so makita ko lahat. Sa I can see all these people. Okay. So let's move on with our um, agenda. Let's talk about the course information muna. Okay, this is CPE 105. This professional education course, assessment and learning 1. And units, the credit unit is 3 units. And for this mode of delivery, the duration of this course is 9 weeks. Sa regular classroom, regular class, no, it's a face-to-face, this around 54 weeks. No, I mean 18 weeks. That's 54 hours per semester. That's around 18 weeks, wherein you spend 3 hours per week. Remember, di ba? Divide siya kung TF or MTH, 1.5 hours na siya. So in other words, in a week, you have 3 hours for 18 weeks for the whole semester. But for this mode of delivery, 9 weeks ang duration, and you have to spend 6 hours per week, right? Now, the 6 hours per week, it's not, in my case, hindi ko siya mandatory. It's up to you how you spend your 6 hours in the whole week. That's how you spend your number of hours in each lesson. Okay. Now, the mode of delivery is asynchronous. What we are doing right now is not asynchronous, but synchronous, right? Pag sinabing asynchronous, you do it your own flexibility, no? So, self-contained siya, self-learning siya. So you do it in your own pace, so self-paced at the same time. So if there are, if you're gonna spend the whole course in 9 weeks, kayo nang bahala paano yun gawin as long as you finish it in 9 weeks. Okay? So this concept is anchored on the ODL concepts, no, on yung online distance learning. When you will be enrolling in probably in postgraduate courses like your master's or PhDs, and tapos you're enrolled in probably Pennsylvania State University abroad, and you're doing ODL. You don't have to go there, but you can enroll even here in the Philippines. You can enroll your course in postgraduate courses, and you spend lang the number of hours according to the duration of the course. Okay, so self-paced siya. You can learn anytime, anywhere. Ikaw na mag-budget sa time. So this is where you develop independent learning. Okay. So I hope I have seen also you rate yourself, no? And most of you nasa average. Maybe you are hesitant pa kayo. But you need to see yourself, no? Should be strong on that point because you are all teachers to be. So dapat teachers na siya self-realization, and you should know your capacity, no? Yung capability mo. So although may nag-rate ng 2, pero I understand it's part of the development. But at least nasa average kayo lahat, no? So you are on developing yourself to become independent learners. Kasi yung independent learners, just like me, no? I never learned, no, I have no formal education with regards to computer. Wala akong formal education. When I started teaching, I hope you have read my resume, my curriculum vitae about the course. I've been teaching in the Department of Education for around 13 to 15 years now. And I moved to the higher education last 2007, right? When I was a teacher in the elementary schools, I started presenting my lessons using computer. Pero wala akong formal background sa computer, ha. I just self-learned na mga how-tos. Meron tayong mga books before. During our time, books lang at saka mga handouts, no? So I use that one. Tapos merong coaching, meron akong friend na who is really good in computer. I always ask question. So I've learned on my own way. And then since kailangan ng mga certificates to have a formal training on computer, that's the time, no? Pero I've learned had teaching using multimedia, no, computer assisted instruction during the time myself, no. So self-learned siya. So I think every one of you has this capacity to learn by your own self, no. So that's self or independent learning. That's why what we're trying to develop here, because you are all teachers. Okay, so if you have any questions with regards to the course information, please type mo na. No, meron kang question sa asynchronous, for instance. Again, sabi ko asynchronous meaning self-paced siya, flexible siya. You can learn anytime, anywhere. You can budget the 6 hours a week. Kayo na mag-budget. I don't demand that as long as you can finish the lessons per week. All right? So, walang questions with regards to that. Let me proceed. Or maybe you can ask questions later or type mo lang da, no? You can just type ahead and then I'm gonna address the questions. Okay, the course description. I know you have read this one if you have browsed about the course. Ito yung course description. If you look at the course description, the course focuses on the principles, development, and utilization of conventional assessment tools, basically to improve teaching and learning process. So I'd like to remind everyone that assessment of learning one is not focused on tertiary level. The assessment is more focused on the assessment of student learning in the so grades of kinder to grade 12, right? Now, so you can apply all this if you're teaching in elementary or in the high school. You can apply these concepts, these principles. It emphasizes the use of assessment of, as, and for. Meron tayong three uses or purposes of assessment. I will not elaborate this one because this is part of the lesson. No? So lesson 1, we will learn what's assessment of, assessment as, and what is assessment for. So emphasizes on this in measuring knowledge, comprehension, and other thinking skills. So from low level to higher level. Okay, and I think also it will be discussed in parts of lesson 1 and 2, the taxonomy, the Bloom's taxonomy. So it will be it will be discussed there, the different levels now of thinking skills. So thinking skills with regards to cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains. So these are the 3 learning domains. Now, in assessment of learning 1, it's more focused on the cognitive level, okay? Because assessment learning 2 will be more focused on the affective and psychomotor side. Here, although we also connect with the other domains, but dakong percentage ang cognitive domain. Then it allows students to go through the standard steps in test construction, development, and the application of grading systems. So the outcome of this course is actually dalawa lang. No? Later on, you will see the modules. There are 2 main outcomes of this course. Now, here the course outcome, it says here, you're expected to design learning plan with appropriate technology integration and assessment strategy across various disciplines. We provided this learning outcome because there are combined courses in this mode of delivery. But I'm not so sure yet how many of you are also enrolled in similar, in other courses that is connected to assessment of learning one. For example, curriculum development, um, teaching, technology for teaching and learning, or CPE 107, I think. So if you're enrolled in this course, the outcome is quite similar, no? But here is much more focused on the assessment part. Kasi yung sa curriculum, lahat-lahat na yun, no? It involves everything. One ang pinaka-core. Then the technology for teaching and learning focus on your preparation of your instructional materials, utilizing technology. Here naman sa course is focus on assessment. So if you look at your learning plan or lesson plan, nandoon yun lahat. Okay? So you have any questions? Wala pang questions. Now here, we have now the modules and lessons. We have actually two modules, Module 1 and Module 2. Module 1 focus on planning a classroom assessment in the K-12. You're going to spend 5 weeks for this. And Module 2 focus on developing classroom assessment in the K-12. So the duration for this Module 2 is 4 weeks. Now, this is what I'm saying, no? Dalawa ang main outcomes of this course. Planning, classroom assessment, then developing classroom assessment. Okay? So, mag-plan kayo, which is now part of lesson 4. Then, you develop your classroom assessment part now, the outcomes of lesson 6. Right? Now, in my previous courses, batch 1, somebody asked, because I also conduct a survey, ano bang experiences nila with regards the course, no? So, during the process or during the course itself, no? Duration sa course. So sabi nila, they said to me, I hope limited lang, no? Kung more focused yung content ng course. Actually, we already decided on that, no? These are what we call the essential, content of the course. Because in the face-to-face, this is not limited to 6 lessons, no? There are around 13 to 15 lessons. But this time, we try to compress the lessons. We look into lessons that can be connected with each other. So, kina-combine namin yung lessons. Okay? So, that's why we come up with 2 modules for CPE 105. Because in CPE 106, there are 3 modules. Okay? So, these are now essential outcomes for CPE 105 with regards to this mode of delivery, no? Okay, remote teaching and learning man ta. So we try to compress. Okay, now for lesson 1, it talks about the basic concepts. This is what I'm saying, but touch na yung part wherein you will learn the difference between assessment of, assessment as, and assessment in, no? Assessment as, right? Then lesson 2, focus on principles of high quality assessments. Step by step, we will discuss each principles, then how you can apply these principles in preparation for your classroom assessments. Then we have selected, for lesson 3, we have types of selected response test. Now, why selected response test? Essay test is not selected response, it's constructed response, no? I mentioned that one. I mentioned that one also in lesson 2, concerning selected response and constructed response. So essay test is not part of the types of selected response test. Overview lang, we'll discuss it one, but because at the end, sa preparation nyo sa test, you'll be preparing tests focus on selected response test. Okay? Just like in your board exam. Ang kanyang board exam, multiple choice, definitely it's multiple choice test. And that is an example of a selected response test. Then lesson 4 focus on test development process. So may process para pag-develop. Now there's always a process in developing your test. You cannot just write, no, test questions. You cannot just write items in a test without a plan. So meron tayong process on doon, no? So this is what we call test development process. So you will learn how to plan your test before you develop your test. So that's part of the development process. Now under module 2, we have lesson 5. This is what we call interpretation of assessment results. So after conducting a test, what will happen to the results of or the scores, no, of the test takers? Oftentimes we probably based on observation, wala lang, no, you just place it on your table. But actually, the results are very important. No, you can interpret results, you can evaluate the results, no, you can see how usable are the results with regards to improving your test at saka looking at the progress of your students. Okay? Then lesson 6 is more focused on understanding classroom assessment in the K-12. So connect natin lahat and we look into the classroom assessment in the K-12. Okay, so everything that we have learned from lesson 1 down to lesson 5, let's try to apply that one in lesson 6. Okay, then we will develop our test or we'll construct our test, no, relative to the lessons and subjects in the K-12, right? So I hope I have enlightened you with regards to the coverage of our course. So do you have any questions with regards to modules and lessons? I'll just pause muna. Okay. So before I proceed, I usually na class ko. Okay, in regular class, no, sorry for the interruption, dali may tawag. Dali lang. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Saan ako? So wala pa tayong questions now. We don't have a question with regards to modules and lesson. Okay. And with regards to our mode of delivery, now right now we're doing synchronous, no? So maybe you ask me how many times ba tayo magganito, sir? So later on, I will do that one in the other matters, no? Now for our grading system, if you have seen our about the course, it has 4 grade categories. We have module 1 outcome, 2 outcome, the course outcome, and we have a summative test. Now for the module outcome, possible points 75, the same with module 2 outcome. It's possible points also is 75, and for the course outcome, 100 possible points, and summative 50 possible points. So a total of pila 300, right? So sa grading system meron siyang equivalent doon, no? If you scored total of out of 300, meron kang 200 points, may equivalent grade. All right. So that is now your grade in this course. So I hope everybody will get 300 points in this course, no? Para plus one kayo lahat. Okay. So any questions with the grading system? Any questions with the grading system? None so far. Okay. You can type later on, no? Again, welcome to who just log in. No, we are now 46 in this live stream. Actually, I supposed to expect 120 participants in this course because there are 3 sections, and most sections has around 40 enrollees. Now, other matters: classroom management and netiquette. With regards to classroom management, I also posted that one in the about the course. So you can review the classroom management, and part of that meron tayong withdrawal policy, because in my previous course merong isang nag-drop. I said, sayang kung mag-drop, no? I tried to support, no, every one of you. I tried to support because I don't want you to lose, no? Because sayang magod ang time, no? You cannot just get back time. If you lose time, you lose it forever. Okay, so sayang yung time. In my experience, I lose a lot of time. Okay, before I enrolled in education, my first course is actually in aeronautical engineering. Now, I enrolled in pilot ground course. I enrolled in flying course. I enrolled in airlines maintenance engineering. So, ang daming lose ko na time, no? So, late ko na decide na I'm in this vocation pala. Okay, so the same thing, you are in this course, so sana you can finish everything, no? Especially your enrolled courses. Meron tayong mga problems, but I'm not a prophet. I cannot tell anong problema niyo. You need to tell me. You need to tell me if you are having a hard time or difficulty going through this course. So I can also support at the same time. No? Just be open. Okay, communication talaga yan, di ba? It's all about communication. If you are close, nobody knows, di ba? Hindi naman tayo prophet that we can tell anong problema mo. All right? So the only way I can support you is to be open to me. You tell me. PM mo lang ako, no? I will reply immediately if wala akong other matters, no? I will reply to your concern. Sa kaya ko lang, ha? Sa kaya ko lang. Huwag lang money. Right. So, nandoon yun, classroom management. And talking about netiquette, this is actually ethics in doing online. Okay. So, yung mga comments, meron akong mga instructions, especially in the forum discussions, in the board discussions, meron akong instruction doon. Because sometimes when we reply to a discussion forum or discussion board, we'll just say agree, thanks. These are cursory remarks, no? So dili kay siya heavy, wala siyang so just add value, no? I'm talking about value. So add value to response, no? Because it helps support, no? In our research, peer and tutor support are really significant in this type of learning, no? Yung remote learning, we need tutor support, we need peer support. So each of you can be a support, no, to go through this course, no. So we are in the same boat. I hope we're in the same boat. So let's paddle together. Then health board. Yung sinasabi ko, ang health board is we use it one if you have any questions regarding the learning activities or lesson. Kung meron akong question about lesson, especially yung mga instructions, if you don't understand the instruction, doon sa help board sa Mauli, you can post a question there. Okay, so I will address the question as soon as possible. Or you can also ask question doon sa Google Classroom, because we're using both learning management system. We have Molly as our main classroom, and we have Google Classroom. Okay, for personal questions, PM mo lang ako ha. Just give me a private message doon sa atong group, atong messenger, FB Messenger. Now, I also encourage other groups because ang section B2 lang ang nag-create ng group chat. No, at saka they invited me as part of the group chat. Kasi sometimes yung ESMS ng my IT is down, so I cannot disseminate information. So mas dali siya sa FB Messenger. So I encourage the other sections to create also your group chat. Tapos invite me in that group chat. So I can also address some of your questions there. Yung mga intended for sections and groupings. So I can address that one in your group chat. Okay. So again, help board, you use it one if you have any questions related to our learning activities in this course. Next is Moodle app. Now, most of you are using smartphones. I recommend that you download Moodle app. Kung wala pa kayo naka-download, but if you have downloaded this one, that's better. Yung wala pa naka-download ng Moodle app, download that one, tapos enter this one, http://molly.msuit.edu.ph/moodle. That's the site address. Pagkatapos niyan, you enter your MyIT account. Okay, then you are now in. You can now open the Molly course in the Moodle app. Okay. Now, in the learning contents, no, I'm using H5P. This is actually multimedia application. Sometimes sa smartphones, mag-load siya. Pag on mo, medyo matagal yung loading, no. Refresh mo lang siya, out ka, then enter again. Because I tried it also in my smartphone. It took me 3 times before I can open the H5P. So if you have that experience, out ka lang, balik po siya in, no? So until mag-load siya for H5P. And for the lesson activity, madali lang siya kaya it's more on textual base, no? Text base. Okay. Now, kung wala na questions, if you have questions also on the other parts, you can ask me, ha? Now, for the mode of delivery, itong sinabi kong synchronous, no? That's what we're doing right now, is synchronous. So we do it in the same time with the presence of your teacher. So ang question, how many times we do synchronous discussion or meeting? I usually do it 3 times, no? During the orientation, then the middle part, no? And yung before the finals. Okay. So 3 times lang tayo mag-synchronous or meeting. And ang mode natin is we can use like here live streams sa StreamYard. And if there are presentations with regards to your outputs, for instance, I will request some, no, to present their outputs. I will give you the link. I will invite you as co-host in this live stream so that you can present your outputs, right? So not everybody can do it kasi limited tayo. I'm sure also your connection is also limited, but I can select the groups, no, to present. Okay. So grouping. Now let's go to the grouping. In the face-to-face, I usually select randomly, the groups, but this time I want you to select your own group. The ideal grouping is around 3 to 4 members, right? Pwede 5. na siya ideal group because more than 5 is already a crowd, no? So I suggest mag-grouping tayo, tapos yung naka-groups na, kindly post the tool doon sa Google Classroom. Alright? Write your section, tapos the group names. I mean, the members of the group, yung mga names niyo. I will assign the number of the group. Ako lang mag-assign. Right? So, how many? At least 3, then maximum of 5. Okay? Klaro ba tayo dyan? Are we clear on that? So, kayo na mag-select sa inyong group members. Again, at least 3 members or a maximum of 5. Are we clear? Or do you have any questions or suggestions? Wala. So, you just post the grouping, no? Doon sa Google Classroom. Now, self-introduction. You have already opened our Molly Classroom and nandoon yung self-introduction portion doon. Please introduce yourself. No, meron akong instruction doon. Please follow the instruction and introducing yourself. Right? Tapos, I will reply. No, I'm so excited to meet you in the self-introduction forum. Okay? So, I think I'm done. And if you have any questions, I'm going to stop sharing. If you have any questions, kindly start typing now your questions. Okay, so nag-present, welcome. Welcome sa lahat ng nag-present. So we are now 52 in this live stream. So again, you can type now your question before we end. I think I'm done with my orientation part. Hello? Questions? Wala. Walang questions. Are you sure, ha? Walang questions? Pag no questions, type 1. If there are no questions, type 1. Okay, may question si John Del. Good morning, sir. Regarding some modules and other learning materials, will you make it available for us po? Okay, available siya actually, sir, no? Sir John Del, it's available, pero naka-time. Okay? Now, ang lesson na to, nasa muli lahat. Right? Nasa muli siya. It's naka-time. Auto-open siya according to the time. And you can also look into the resources. So, ang mga resources is embedded on sa each lessons. So, nasa lesson resources. So, you can just browse each part sa lesson. Okay? So, ang akong lesson normally, it starts with sharing of activity, followed by, no, it starts with the overview, followed by sharing of activities or sharing of your experiences or ideas, then followed by reading and videos or video resource. Then we have reflection, then the application activity. So yung application is basically your outputs. No, you need to submit. But required din yung reflection. Reflection is very important as supplementary assessment. Okay. So did I address your question, Sir Jondel? Now regarding sa time, do you want open lahat ang lesson o according to time? Previously, the other sections sa batch 1, they opt for by schedule a week after, no? Para dili sila ma-overwhelmed sa lessons. So they take it one step at a time. What about you guys? You want me to open? Ako magod is baka ma-overwhelm kayo sa mga work, no? So para focus tayo, we can do it one step at a time. Okay, another question? There's another question from Cornelio Israel. Good morning, sir. If in case you will have a quiz or exam sa amo, then during sa among pag-take, then interrupt ang internet, do you have a chance to retake kay nitabo na ni sa last subject, sir? Ang akong written exam or quiz, it happens in the final summative test. Katulang siya nga ako ang pinakadako, no? That's the major exam, yung summative test, and it happens at the end. Now, if this will happen, meron kayong interruption during the taking of the exam, just inform me, no? Just inform me so we can arrange, because my type of exam is naka-time na siya, no? Naka-time and for example, in a day, so if the exam starts at 8 o'clock, you can take it anytime until midnight, pero within 2 hours lang siya. So once you click the start button, you need to finish the exam within 2 hours, right? But pag may interruption, and based on my experience, meron na them. It happens a lot, no? It happens many times, and just tell me because makita ko naman sa login yun, sa login history. So I'll just review that one, then let's try to discuss now. So just PM if this occurs during the taking of the exam. Okay, Sir Cornelio, okay ba? You're welcome, Sir Jondel. Okay, si Ma'am Angelica, Sir, sorry, karon pa ko ka-message o... Okay, no problem, ma'am. It's okay. Okay. So, assist lang yun, ha? So, si Ma'am Charmaine, si Ma'am, si Sir Cornelio, by schedule lang siya. Okay, tama. Ma-pressure good, no? Even me, ma-pressure jud ko. I've been taking a lot of online courses sa Coursera and sa edX. Sometimes ang professor namo is i-open niya lahat. So pag makita na ako, daghanan ako trabahoon, ay, no? That's true. That's a true experience. So that's why tagana ko options akong students whether to open it everything or based on my experience mas nice gid siya gradual, no? Gradual ang yung ano para medyo focus siya. Okay. Also, Ma'am Evie, by schedule. Not supported by Google. Yeah. Okay lang. Si Angelica Cortel. Okay. Any more? Si Sir, okay, si Sir John Del. Kisa pa ito nag-question kanina? Okay, so any more questions? Baka meron kang experiences previously that you would like to mention here para I could also see if I have that experience also. Okay, Ma'am Jamil, noted po. You're welcome, you're welcome. Any more? So that we can finish? Yes, Ma'am Jamil, it's noted. You're welcome, Ma'am. Okay, so what else? Other matters that you want to tell me? Yes, Sir Joseph. Sige, sir. Hope safe ka di, sir, ha? Okay, dami na nag-press 1, so wala nang questions. Be safe, everyone, ha? Be safe. That's why more on asynchronous tayo. Okay, I don't want to be always out kung nakisignal lang kayo. Alright? Okay, so along the way, meron tayong ma-encounter ng mga questions or clarification. If meron na kayong GC, doon nyo ilagay, ha? Basta related lang sa topic, sa tong lessons, or doon sa help board or sa Google Classroom. So meron tayong 3 options, no, for the questions. Right? So dami nag-press 1, meaning wala na tayong questions. Okay. Sige, press 1 if wala nang questions. Yung iba hindi pa nag-press 1 kung wala nang questions. You're welcome, ma'am. Sir Joseph, sorry, Sir Joseph. Yes, Ma'am Angelica. Okay. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Rudel. Okay, so this concludes our live streaming and our first virtual meeting or course orientation. Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for coming, teachers. I'll see you doon sa self-introduction. I'm excited to meet you sa self-introduction. I'm excited also to respond to your self-introduction. Pahabol questions. Pila ka buok sa grouping, sir? Akong mention kanina, at least 3 members or a maximum of 5, no? Walang 6, ha? Maximum of 5 lang tayo. 3 to 5 members lang per group. Alright? Sa inyong sections. Tapos, post the names doon sa atong Google Classroom. Right? Don't forget to write your section, then the names of members. Okay, Ma'am Angelica, kuha na. Wala na. Okay, so that concludes now our live stream. If meron pa kayo pahabol questions, just ask that one in your GC. or sa help board or doon sa ato ang Google Classroom. Okay? I'll see you sa self-introduction, and God bless. Be safe always. Thank you. Bye-bye.